Hi, and welcome to the independent media coverage of the 2014 AP Government elections. Now let's talk about Alex Wright, the independent candidate. His platform is based on fixing the economy, giving federal aid to education in order to grow art and music programs, and cutting the military budget. If you want to learn more about his platform, listen for later on in the show when we interview him and learn a little bit more about him. Or you can watch his video, Intro to the Ray Campaign. Now let's hear what each of our candidates have to say. Wilson, Hagan, and Ray. What would you do if you got elected?
I would, my first priority would be to help get the economy back in working order, because right now, let's face it, it's not doing well at all. I would raise the taxes of the rich and of the upper class, because right now they apparently have way too many tax breaks, and so that new income would help in putting back money into our nation and creating jobs and fixing roadways and helping out the poor and disadvantaged and the disabled and welfare programs.
What would you do to balance the government's budget?
I would lower the budget for the defense, because currently we have the highest military budget of any country in the world, and there's no need for that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to destroy our military or cut down our defense completely, but I think that decreasing the budget of the defense would greatly help our economy and help our deficit, because our deficit is completely unacceptable, and we're just spending too much money that we're not getting in revenue.
Okay, what would you do if you got elected?
If I were to get elected, I would try to get Congress back to working for the people, because right now they're just at odds against each other. It's Democrat versus Republican, and they're supposed to be working for the people and try to make everything better for the people.
What would you do to balance the government's budget?
Immigration's a big problem right now, and we would reform that system, and welfare reform, and we did even decrease military spending, just try to get another budget surplus.
What would you do to create more jobs?
We would start drilling on U.S. soil, and mostly in like Alaska and like Gulf of Mexico, maybe even like South Dakota and all that, and that would create a lot of jobs and even drive the price of gas down too.
Okay, what would you do to help the economy?
To help the economy, well, you kind of got to get the money rolling. So, we need to get America back to work, and just like the drilling thing, that would help with getting America back to work. That would help get everything stimulated. More people are spending money. More businesses are doing better. Workers are doing better.
What is the main focus of your campaign?
We want to restore America back to being a nation of balanced budget, and we want to get a budget surplus.
Is there anything else you would like to tell the voters?
My campaign is the New Age Republicans, and the stereotypical Republican old white man. That is not what we are. We are New Age. So vote for us.
Okay, what would you do if you got elected?
Well, one of the big goals of my administration would be to help fix the economy. We're coming out of a recession, mortgage crisis in 2008. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. Our main goal is to help balance the budget and to get more money back into the pockets of middle-class Americans.
Okay, what would you...
As well as many other awesome things that have been for
What would you do to balance the government's budget?
Well, we are firm believers that we spend way too much money on our military budget. We have a larger military budget than the next 25 countries in the world combined, and so we feel like that money's just being wasted, and we are plan on cutting the military budget by about 37%, I think, as well as raising taxes by about to that same number on the top 1% of Americans. So that's money that we would use to then help balance the budget and get back in the economy.
What would you do to create more jobs?
Well, it kind of goes along with that same thing. When you cut taxes on the wealthy, get more money back into the pockets of middle-class Americans. Middle-class Americans will then go spend that money, which will help businesses generate more revenue, which allows them to grow, which means they'll need more workers, which creates more jobs, and it's just a cycle.
What is your main focus?
Our main focus is definitely the budget deficit that we're facing. A lot of different presidents have touched it and said they're going to do something about it, but at this point, I mean, I love economics, and I know that a lot of people within my administration are really passionate about the subject, so it's something that we really, really want to take care of, because the way we're going, it's not going to end up well. So,
What would you do to help the economy?
I mean, it all just it's really just one big thing: the budget, the economy, putting less stress on middle-class Americans to help them make ends meet. I mean, getting more back in their pockets by creating more jobs and lowering the unemployment rate, stuff like that. I mean, just the little things that you might not think about help day to day, but it's a huge deal. So,
And then do you have anything else to tell the voters?
vote for me. I will help you do awesome stuff. I'm the right guy for the job, not Alex Hagan or Rebecca Wilson.
Go. Now let's hear from an angry voter who will tell you who he's voting for and why.
Who am I going to vote for? I'm going to vote for Alex Ray. He's going to decrease the national debt by cutting military spending. And he's a true American. I'm an independent, and I agree with Alex Ray.
Now let's go to Mrs. Anthony, a lobbyist of AARP. Who did you support and why?
I supported Alex Ray, and because he stated that he was going to provide more opportunities for people 50 and over, and support us more with job opportunities and just support within the community.
What about him made you want to support them?
The reason that I supported Alex is because he was very genuine in his concerns with the people over 50 years old, and he just was very genuine and appeared very honest, and that's really the only reason I supported him.
Go. Now let's go to Mrs. Pasquale, a lobbyist of the Teachers Union. Who did you support?
I supported the Democrats and the Independents. I'm a little bit more on the Democrat side than the Independents.
Why?
I felt like the Democrats have always consistently been for education and educational policies, and I thought they had a little bit bigger of a pull than the Independents, and I wasn't able to even talk to the Republican Party because they never came to see me.
Did either candidate promise you anything?
The Independent, I asked him what he was going to do to support the teachers union, and he talked about making sure he talked to like voters and redirecting votes to that, and money-wise, I asked if education was going to be a priority, and he said that the Independent Party would allocate certain funds for education. And same thing with the Democrats, which they're pretty standard known for supporting teachers unions, so I kind of knew what to expect a little more from them.
Now we have a secret to tell you about Alex Hagan, the Republican candidate. Now, as some of you have seen his video for what he stands for on his platform, you will notice that he is very central, and we are calling him out as being a flip-flopper. He started out during his race as being as far over as he could in order to win the primaries. As time has gone on, in order to win this general election, he is becoming very close to the center and even crossing over on some issues. Is this the man you want for president?